Select Technologies just had its IPO and got listed, and it had an amazing response, public response.
We have a complete ecosystem. Select Technology is producing and Airlink is distributing and retailing the Xiaomi product. बट डब्स के लगने के बाद बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट ये हुआ कि जो ग्रे मार्केट थी वो बिल्कुल खत्म हो गई और गवर्नमेंट को ड्यूटी कलेक्शन में मोर देन 10 times ड्यूटी कलेक्ट हुई. 55 billion EKR was collected as a duty at that time.
2021 में imported phones का जो market share था was about 70%. And today, the market share of locally assembled phones is a staggering 95%. I was looking at your numbers and I saw some unusual things there. Obviously, your leverage seemed a bit on the higher side.
But higher is because of our investment in the stocks, in the current asset. Yeah, if going forward in 2028 or 2029, we are expecting 40% revenue from appliances division and 60% revenue from the mobile division. Then our GP jump up to from 8% to 10%.
This is a very interesting insight for your investors also. अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं हूं महविश वलियानी और आप देख रहे हैं द लॉन्ग व्यू बाय पाकिस्तान एंड काउंटिंग प्रेजेंटेड बाय पेनी, जहां हम पाकिस्तान की बड़ी कंपनीज की लीडरशिप से बात करेंगे उनके बिजनेस मॉडल्स, यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स और ग्रोथ प्लान्स के बारे में। आज हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं सिलेक्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज के चीफ फाइनेंशियल ऑफिसर नुसरत महमूद साहब। Nusrat, welcome to today's conversation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Before we get into Select Technologies itself, let's talk about the industry. हम जब स्मार्टफोन को देखते हैं तो हम बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं उस पर सोचते हैं कि उसकी ग्लोबल पिक्चर क्या होगी, उसकी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग डायनामिक्स क्या होंगे। तो क्या आप हमारे लिए एक बिग पिक्चर प्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं कि who are the main players in this market, who are the main countries that play a big role in the production and the consumption of smartphones?
Smartphone industry last 5 to 10 years में बहुत ज़्यादा ग्रो किया है इसने, और इसके मेन प्लेयर्स में एप्पल, सैमसंग, Xiaomi, टेक्नो, आईटेल, ओप्पो, वीवो, इन्फिनिक्स और फिर कुछ छोटे प्लेयर।
पाकिस्तान की तरफ आते हैं। लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द ग्लोब फर्स्ट। सो आपने बताया कि मेजर ब्रांड्स आपने नाम लिए, जिसमें से एप्पल और सैमसंग जो है प्रीटी मच एक टक्कर पे होते हैं 20 to 19% मार्केट शेयर के साथ ईच, एंड फिर Xiaomi आता है which is 13% market share worldwide.
Yes.
Then you talked about the size of the market. The world smartphone market is nearly $2.3 trillion. इसके मेजर स्मार्टफोन कंज्यूमर्स कहाँ पर हैं, कौन से मुल्क में हैं?
देखिए, स्मार्टफोन की पेनिट्रेशन तो ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड बहुत ज़्यादा है, लाइक चाइना में, यूएसए में, यूरोप में, फार ईस्ट के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा पेनिट्रेशन है। पाकिस्तान के अंदर भी जो सिम इश्यूज की हुई है पीटीए ने, वो भी अराउंड 76% से 90% जो पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से है। बट देखिए, एक बंदे के पास 2 सिम भी होती हैं, मेरे मोबाइल डाटा के लिए ईवो डिवाइस में भी सिम यूज़ होती है। सो पाकिस्तान का नंबर भी अच्छा है वर्ल्ड में, अराउंड हम 76 to 80% की जो है वो पॉपुलेशन डाटे के अंदर है कि जो लोग मोबाइल यूज़ करते हैं। बट पाकिस्तान के अंदर स्मार्टफोन के अलावा फीचर फ़ोन भी बहुत यूज़ होता है, जो कि 2G 3G फ़ोन है, जो कि हमारे अर्बन एरियाज़ में बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ होता है।
इसका प्रोबेबली रीज़न हमारी पर कैपिटा इनकम के साथ लिंक्ड होगा कि हमारी
कैपिटल इनकम भी है, नेटवर्किंग भी है। नेटवर्किंग आपका 4G कवर नहीं होता, सिर्फ मेजर सिटीज़ में है। जब आप पेरिफेरी में जाते हैं तो वहाँ पे आप 2G 3G पे आ जाते हैं, जहाँ पे डाटा की कवरेज, डाटा की रिट्रीविंग, डाटा स्पीड उस हिसाब से नहीं मिलती। तो फिर वहाँ
That
पे नॉर्मल फ़ोन यूज़ होता है जो कि बटनों वाला फ़ोन है, उसको आप और कुछ
यानी
वैसे
ये
रिस्ट्रिक्ट।
market, as you said that this is a relatively mature market. So is it safe to conclude that this is a replacement market या ये न्यू फोन्स के लिए भी मार्केट है?
देखिए, जैसे आपका डाटा बंडल अर्बन एरियाज में जाएगा, 5G इन प्लेस होगा, 2, 3 और 3G बैन होगा, तो आपका रिप्लेसमेंट साइकिल भी जनरेट होगा
हम्म।
और एक अच्छी खासी अमाउंट का रिप्लेसमेंट साइकिल जनरेट होगा न्यू का। मतलब आपके वहाँ पे नया फोन यूज होगा। जैसे 2, 3G खत्म होगा, 4G एंड 5G आएगा, तो अदर देन द रिप्लेसमेंट साइकिल न्यू फोन की भी मार्केट एस्टेब्लिश होगी। और वैसे मैच्योर मार्केट में नॉर्मली न्यू फोन की मार्केट रहती है।
सो फाइन, 5G इज अ मेजर लीवर जिसके बेसिस पे जो है मार्केट ग्रो करेगी न्यू फोन्स की भी। बट अगर रिप्लेसमेंट फोन्स की बात करते हैं तो व्हाट इज द एवरेज रिप्लेसमेंट लाइफ साइकिल
रिप्लेसमेंट
स्मार्टफोन?
साइकिल इज अराउंड 2 years to 3 years, मैक्सिमम थ्री
2 to
ईयर्स
3 years.
बट
Okay.
विद इन 2 years। बट जो बड़े फोन के यूजर्स हैं वो माइट बी सिंगल ईयर रिप्लेस कर लेते हैं जैसे नए मॉडल।
आपने पाकिस्तान की बात की कि पाकिस्तान इज नाउ माशाल्लाह अप एंड कमिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्मार्टफोन प्रोडक्शन. When global brands choose markets to outsource their production for smartphones, what are the typical factors that they're looking at? Are they looking at labor cost? Are they looking at policy, incentives, logistics, market size?
देखिए, उसमें मार्केट साइज तो है 240 to 50 मिलियन पीपल्स की ये मार्केट है, तो इसकी अपनी कंजम्पशन बहुत ज़्यादा है। उसके अलावा चीप लेबर होने की वजह से हमें हमें यहाँ पे फ़ोन बनाना सस्ता पड़ता है एज़ कम्पेयर टू चाइना एंड वियतनाम। वहाँ पे लेबर कॉस्ट ज़्यादा, बट एफिशिएंसी अचीव हो रही है आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। जिस तरह हमने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग शुरू की थी, तो वी हैव अराउंड 33 to 34 चाइनीज इंजीनियर्स विद अस, एंड नाउअडेज वी आर वर्किंग विद 4 to 5 चाइनीज इंजीनियर्स। तो जो बाकी चाइनीज इंजीनियर थे वो रिप्लेस हो गए विद लोकल इंजीनियर। तो उसके अंदर आपका फॉरेन रिजर्व भी बचा के हम उनको पेमेंट करते थे, वो बाहर पेमेंट ले जा भेजते थे या ले जाते थे अपनी पेमेंट। बट आपकी लोकल स्किल डेवलप हो रही, जो सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज है। टेक्नोलॉजिकल ट्रांसफर है, लोकल स्किल डेवलप हो रही है और आप
Mhm.
अच्छा और एक चीपर मोबाइल बना।
So you mentioned that population plays a big role. Then you said labor cost plays a big role. Um,
यस।
What about policy? पाकिस्तान में 2020 में जो डिवाइस आइडेंटिफिकेशन रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड ब्लॉकिंग सिस्टम इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ बाय पीटीए, उसके बाद आई थिंक लैंडस्केप स्मार्टफोन्स का काफ़ी चेंज हो गया. क्या इसके बारे में आप कुछ हमें एक्सप्लेन कर सकेंगे?
देखिए, 2021 में ये इनिशिएटिव, अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि उसमें जो वन ऑफ द पायनियर थे वो हमारे सीईओ मुजफ्फर हयात पराचा साहब थे। उन्होंने बड़ा इनिशिएटिव लिया इसमें और उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट को ये पावर कराया कि अगर आप डब सिस्टम इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे तो ना सिर्फ ये वाइट लिस्टिंग हो जाएगी, ये मार्केट बड़ी अच्छी और ओपन मार्केट है और पाकिस्तान को इसमें फ्यूचर मिलेगा। उस वक्त तक असेंबलिंग पाकिस्तान में नहीं आई थी, बट डब्स के लगने के बाद बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट ये हुआ कि जो ग्रे मार्केट थी वो बिल्कुल ख़त्म हो गई और
ओके.
गवर्नमेंट को ड्यूटी कलेक्शन में मोर देन 10 times ड्यूटी कलेक्ट हुई। तो
कितनी?
55 बिलियन पीकेआर वाज कलेक्टेड एज अ ड्यूटी एट दैट टाइम। So
वाओ.
approximately, मतलब I'm not pretty sure the amount is close to this.
What was the market share of
अराउंड
imported
अराउंड
phones in
अराउंड अराउंड
2020?
सैमसंग के अंदर अराउंड 50% मार्केट, और जो बाकी ब्रांड्स हैं इवन एप्पल इज आल्सो। एंड उस टाइम पे हवावे के बड़े फ़ोन आते थे, शॉमी उस वक्त इतना ज़्यादा नहीं था, तो टेक्नो एंड ओप्पो वीवो भी अभी उस वक्त कम लेवल पे थे। तो मेजर प्लेयर जो थे उस वक्त इस डब्स की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन से जिनको इम्पैक्ट आया था, उसमें सैमसंग है, एप्पल है और हवावे के कुछ मोबाइल।
यहाँ मैं एक स्टैट ऐड करती चलूँ। सो 2021 में हम इम्पोर्टेड फ़ोन्स का जो मार्केट शेयर था वाज़ अबाउट 70%, and today the market share of locally assembled phones is a staggering 95%, which shows the amazing phenomenal potential of growth of locally assembled products in Pakistan market. आपने डिफरेंट मार्केट्स के का मेंशन किया जब शुरू में आप लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर्स की बात कर रहे थे, एंड इसके अंदर आपने वियतनाम की एग्जांपल दी. वियतनाम टुडे इज द सेकंड लार्जेस्ट प्रोड्यूसर ऑफ स्मार्टफोन्स, एंड लोकल मोबाइल फोन असेंबलर्स अब एक बहुत बड़ा एक पाइप ड्रीम की तरह इसको देखते हैं कि वियतनाम कैन आल्सो बी वी कैन आल्सो बी कंपेयर्ड टू वियतनाम. कैन यू टेल अस व्हाट आर some things that Vietnam has done right in its business model?
देखिए वियतनाम का जो बिजनेस मॉडल था ना, वो एक्सपोर्ट बेस्ड था। वो 50 टू 55 बिलियन डॉलर की एसकेडी इंपोर्ट करता है, उसको असेंबल करता है, उसमें 10 टू 15% की वैल्यू एडिशन करता है और अप्रोक्सीमेटली 60 बिलियन डॉलर की एक्सपोर्ट कर देता है। इस एक्टिविटी से गवर्नमेंट ऑफ वियतनाम विल गेट 5 बिलियन डॉलर फॉरेन बिजनेस। यही पिच हमने भी गवर्नमेंट को रिक्वेस्ट की हुई है, एंड दैट पॉलिसी इज अंडर कंसिडरेशन। अगर पाकिस्तान में भी एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंट हो गई तो देन इट विल वर्क अमेजिंगली। पाकिस्तान भी सेम एट द पैटर्न ऑफ वियतनाम इंपोर्ट और एक्सपोर्ट को काफ़ी हद तक बैलेंस कर दे।
राइट नाउ जो स्मार्टफोन्स की प्रोडक्शन होती है पाकिस्तान मार्केट में वो सारी डोमेस्टिकली ही कंज्यूम होती है.
जी वो टोटली आपकी लोकल कंजप्शन में यूज होती
ओके. आपकी ग्रुप कंपनी, इनफैक्ट आपकी पेरेंट कंपनी एयरलिंक is into retail distribution and manufacturing of smartphones as well. So, out of curiosity, why was why was there the need to have another company
है।
to manufacture Xiaomi phones?
इसके अंदर दिस वाज बेसिकली ऑन द रिक्वेस्ट ऑफ Xiaomi. Xiaomi has a worldwide different legs. For manufacturing, it has a different company, and for distribution, it has a different company. Xiaomi has offered us to manufacture its mobile in Airlink. Then you should have a new distributor for the Xiaomi phones. So we make a wholly owned subsidiary of Airlink under the title of Select Technologies Private Limited to assemble and manufacture the Xiaomi phones, and then those Xiaomi phones will be distributed by Airlink or different distributors as the allocation has been marked by the Xiaomi Pakistan.
क्या ये पार्टनरशिप विद Xiaomi एक्सक्लूसिव है?
It is not an exclusive partnership, but it is an open-end partnership. So we have a 3 years agreement which is extendable for unforeseeable future. So we are working with them since last in distribution. We are working with Xiaomi since 2012. A yearly agreement, but is renewed every year. And in factory, first it was for 3 years, and after that it is expandable for another.
So, given that this partnership is non-exclusive with Xiaomi, what are the factors that makes them choose you again when it comes time for renewal? Or what are the factors that may sort of prevent Xiaomi from going to another mobile phone assembler in Pakistan and give them subpart or full business in future?
There are 2, 3 different options in this case. Number one is that we have built a handsome capacity. Until and unless we are not giving them their required product and required quality, and the capacity is utilized, and we are not in a position to extend our capacity, then they have right to go to some new part. Secondly, we have a complete ecosystem. Select Technology is producing, and Airlink is distributing and retailing the Xiaomi product. So we have a complete ecosystem with the Xiaomi phone.
Okay, so you guys sound confident that based on the fact that the distribution network also is within the group company. this has a big bearing on their decision.
Yes.
Let's talk about your unit economics. जब एक स्मार्टफोन
Yes.
बनता है तो उसके
जी मैम.
पीछे क्या मेजर कंपोनेंट्स आते हैं गिवन दैट आप लोग असेंबली के अंदर हैं इसकी तो एक स्मार्टफोन से Xiaomi का एक फोन दैट may cost 50,000 rupees to a consumer, what does the cost look like behind the scene in terms of major components that go into
जो मैम जो एसकेडी है, एसकेडी के अंदर जो मेजर कंपोनेंट्स हैं वो अराउंड 3 to 4 मेजर कंपोनेंट्स हैं. One is PCB, which is motherboard with the chipset and with the memory card and everything. So that contribute around 60% of the cost. If SKD is 50,000, look like I can
सही है
explain you in a better way that if SKD is 50,000, then 30,000 is the PCB, and
करेक्ट
around 15%, 14 to 15% is the screen, touch panel, and then it is 4 and 5,000 rupees is for the battery, and then it's the casing, and 4 to 5,000 is for the camera. So 5%, 5 to 6% is the camera, 6 to 7% is the battery, 15% is the touch panel, and 60% is for the PCB.
आपकी सप्लाई चेन के बारे में आप बात कर रहे थे और आप जहां पर आपने की कंपोनेंट्स की बात की थी जो कि दे आर कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड विद अ फ्यू कंपनीज वर्ल्ड वाइड सो आप सारे कंपोनेंट्स चाइना से ही सोर्स करते हैं या आप भी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड से सोर्स करते हैं एक स्मार्टफोन के कंपोनेंट्स और इनमें से कौन से कंपोनेंट का सबसे लॉन्गेस्ट लीड टाइम
देखिए हमारे जितने भी एसकेडी के कंपोनेंट्स हैं वो चाइना से ही आते हैं.
ओके
And that supplier will arrange all that component. In
ओके
case of mobile, the supplier is Xiaomi Hong Kong. We open the LC to Xiaomi Hong Kong, and Xiaomi Hong Kong will resource it, and then he will send us it in a complete lot. एक मोबाइल अराउंड 55 to 65 कंपोनेंट्स में आता है जिसमें उसकी डिफरेंट पार्ट्स होते हैं, सेल, उसमें कैमरास, बैटरी, उसके इवन नट बोल्ट और बाकी छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स जितने भी मैक्सिमम पार्ट उसके मतलब
कोई
उसकी
लॉन्ग
एसकेडी
लीड
का.
आइटम है इसके अंदर से
लॉन्ग लीड आइटम इसमें दो तरीके हैं इसके आने के. वन इज द वे दैट इट कम थ्रू एयर, सो दैट कम्स इन 15 days, and if it is through sea, then it will take 30 days.
You just heard Select Technologies CFO talk about managing complex procurement across multiple geographies while juggling letters of credit and vendor pricing. This is just the kind of procurement challenge our sponsor, Penny, is built to solve. Penny is a source to pay procurement platform for mid to large sized enterprises. Its cloud based system manages purchase requests, approvals, vendor sourcing, orders, and payments. Penny replaces scattered spreadsheets and email threads with a single structured system, giving your business better visibility and fewer bottlenecks. Thank you, Penny, for supporting Pakistan&Counting. आपके पास आप लोगों ने रिसेंटली अपने पास एक एलईडी टीवीज की भी लाइन ऐड की है और नाउ विद द रीसेंट प्रोसीड्स ऑफ आईपीओ आप अपने पास एसीज और टीवीज की मजीद प्रोडक्शन लाइंस ऐड कर रहे हैं सो was that always the vision of the company to grow into consumer electronics also and if so what was the thinking behind adding these consumer electronics to your production
The consumer electronics addition was basically to improve the profitability and return on the company.
okay
Because
interesting
consumer
so
electronics are always with the higher margin and with more localization. So in mobile localization, even in China cannot do more localization in mobile phone also. Because there are 4 or 5 different companies which are manufacturing cameras, which are manufacturing screens, which are manufacturing chipset and motherboard all over the world. Every mobile company like Samsung, Apple, Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, all they are buying from them. So that dependency on that company. But in appliances business, the localization is
Sorry,
a bit
can I
easy.
pause you here and can you quickly tell us जो आपने components की बात की that there are other companies that have kind of a monopoly in production of these smartphone components. If you could
Yes.
quickly name those companies और कहाँ based है ये सारी companies?
So only two, three companies which are making the chipset, and two, three companies which are making cameras, touch panel screens. So all mobiles are buying from them, and they are manufacturing and assembling.
अब
ये
आते हैं कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की तरफ।
appliance-
कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में एलईडी टीवीज और एसीज, अगर आप हमें इनकी लोकलाइजेशन का पिक्चर दिखा सकें, पाकिस्तान में व्हाट परसेंटेज लोकलाइजेशन ऑलरेडी
इसके
एग्जिस्ट्स फॉर
अंदर
दिस?
इनकी लोकलाइजेशन टीवी के अंदर लोकलाइजेशन है अराउंड 25 to 35%, एंड विच इज अ हैंडसम कॉस्ट। टैक्सेशन भी बचती है, फ्रेट की भी सेविंग होती है, क्लियरिंग ड्यूटी और मूवमेंट भी बचती है उसमें। तो टीवी इज 25 to 35%, हम उसमें लोकलाइजेशन कर सकते हैं। इन एसी वी कैन गो अप टू 60%, but initially we can go up to 30% very comfortably for
ओके,
localization in air conditioning, and that will save the more cost, and then will make the product cheaper. You can compete in the market very easily. That will add you more profit. That will give you GP of 15 to 18%, and in some part 20% even also, and which will
ओके,
give
वेरी
you the
इंटरेस्टिंग। होल्ड दैट थॉट। सो फॉर कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, you're saying the gross profit can range from 15 to 20%.
yes,
Is that right? And
yes.
for smartphones, it is currently about 8%. So currently आपकी 95% रेवेन्यू जो है वो स्मार्टफोन से आ रहा है। अगले 5 सालों में आप इस रेवेन्यू का कंट्रीब्यूशन बिटवीन स्मार्टफोन्स एंड कंज्यूमर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स क्या देख रहे हैं, और आप ग्रॉस मार्जिन की ग्रोथ कोरिस्पॉन्डिंगली कहाँ पर जाते हैं?
देखिए, हमारी कोशिश है कि अब टिल जो हमने फोरकास्ट दिया है प्रोस्पेक्टस में भी, कि 2031 तक हम अपना 40 to 50% रेवेन्यू अप्लायंसेस डिवीजन से लें। अगर हम विद नॉर्मल ग्रोथ इन मोबाइल आल्सो, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मोबाइल की ग्रोथ नहीं हो रही। वी आर गिविंग अ नॉर्मल 8 to 10%, 15% ग्रोथ इन मोबाइल, बट अ बिट स्पीडी ग्रोथ, क्योंकि हमारे पास अप्लायंसेस की पहले प्रोडक्शन नहीं है, वो अब शुरू हो रही है। तो अप्लायंसेस की प्रोडक्शन के बाद अगर मैं हमारा जो फोरकास्ट है, इट इज़ अ वेरी कंजर्वेटिव फोरकास्ट, एंड वी आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू अचीव 2031 रिजल्ट्स इन 2029।
नुसरत, लेट्स टॉक नंबर्स। अभी आपका
यस,
8% ग्रॉस मार्जिन है, 95% रेवेन्यू कंट्रीब्यूशन है, 48 बिलियन का आपका रेवेन्यू था FY
if
2025।
yeah, if going forward in 2028 or 2029, we are expecting 40% revenue from appliances division and
ओके,
60% revenue from the mobile division. Then our GP jump up to from 8% to 10% consolidated GP, because 40% GP is coming from the with the 20% gross profit, 40% revenue is from 20% gross profit, and 60% revenue is coming from the 8 to 9% gross profit. So when you consolidate it,
this is
it
an
will jump up.
this is a very interesting insight. This is a very interesting insight for
So
your
that
investors
that
also.
yes, and that increase will directly hit in the NP, because this is an incremental. We have incurred the cost, we are maintaining that structure of our costing structure is more than 90% is fixed. So this is an incremental profit, incremental GP of 2%, which will directly affect the NP. And the NP will improve and the return on investment will increase. And shareholder have a more return, EPS will improve.
तो इस मार्जिन के अंदर नुसरत, एज अ CFO, where do you see room for Select Technologies to kind of give more savings to the company and secure a higher gross margin?
The mobile business is with this margin. The main intention of the company always will remain is that we will make a more sale and more turnover. It is a turnover business. The mobile business is basically turnover business with 8 to 9% GP with all that remaining expenses, admin, selling, and just finance cost, and then taxation, you can have 2 to 3% of the PAT in this select. But with the distribution, you will add up the profits
From
increase.
what I understand, just like global players, big global players like Foxconn, Luxshare, पेगाट्रॉन, आप लोगों की भी मार्जिन्स में इतना रूम नहीं है जितना आप कैपेसिटी से वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज करके स्केलिंग से रेवेन्यू को ग्रो कर सकते हैं और अपनी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ग्रो कर सकते
Yes, exactly the same.
हैं. अच्छा, I was having a look at your capacity utilization, and what I noticed was कि आपकी स्मार्टफोन की capacity utilization about 58% पे चल रही है. टीवी की 5% पे, टीवी को पे बाद में आते हैं. But smartphone in a market where localization is, where local consumption, locally produced smartphones are getting consumed so fast. Um, and given the fact, एक और मैं stat यहाँ पर share करना चाहूँगी कि Xiaomi worldwide is number 3, 13% का market share. बट जब मैं पाकिस्तान की मार्केट में Xiaomi का मार्केट शेयर देखती हूँ तो it's only 9%. It's also a very scattered market. And then it corresponds with your capacity utilization also, which is 58%. So इसके behind, if we can dig a little deeper behind these numbers, कि capacity utilization इतनी क्यों है और Xiaomi जो है, why is it shying away with grabbing a bigger market share in Pakistan? The story is a little different from what it looks like globally.
उसके अंदर जो मेजर रीज़न है मैम वो ये है कि Xiaomi अपनी प्रोडक्ट्स को एक हायर सेगमेंट में प्लेस कर रहा है और Xiaomi के अंदर एक तो लास्ट क्वार्टर में जो वॉर जोन था, एक मेजर प्रेशर वो भी था कि उसकी वजह से भी कुछ डिस्टर्बेंस रही, Xiaomi की प्रोडक्ट्स में सप्लाई चेन इंटरप्टेड रही, जो कि अब जाके नॉर्मलाइज हो गई है और Xiaomi अपना शेयर देखिए, वरी तो तब हो कि जब इंटरनेशनली Xiaomi अपना शेयर गिरा रहा हो. वर्ल्ड के अंदर Xiaomi is maintaining its position at number 3, and that is in some regions Xiaomi is at number 2, and in some region at number 1, but overall it is at the position of number 3. But in Pakistan, Xiaomi is maintaining its share at 9%. It has dropped in this previous year. But from this year, they are now again building up their share as capacity is there. We have a capacity of 3.5 million phones, which is increased now up to 7 million phones in our new Sundar Green industrial zone with a new facility. So we are hopeful that we will regain our share in this year, and Xiaomi will definitely love to capture its share in Pakistan because Pakistan market is a very attractive for them. It is a mid-tier brand. Xiaomi price structure and the product is placed at the mid-tier, and some
Okay.
products are low tier, but major is in the mid-tier. So in mid-tier, Pakistani market has a very nice attraction where the youth population is more than 40 to 50%.
Interesting that you mentioned that Pakistan is looked at as a mid-tier market. What are some of the factors that a consumer has in mind when they are going and selecting a smartphone? Is it the pricing? Is it the camera? Is it the battery power, memory? And what boxes does Xiaomi check in terms of the consumer preference?
The choice of a public when a person go to purchase a phone, it will definitely the choice is with the capacity, with the speed of the phone, 4G, 5G compatible phone, and then it comes the pricing. So as the chipset is going expensive from next year, you will see a hype in the mobile phone prices. So it might be 5 to 10% or maybe more than that. So the quality of the phone and the capacity and their size, their capacity of size, like their RAM and ROM capacity, 8 GB, 128 GB or 12 GB and 256 GB. They are the important thing. Camera is also important. And then after all, the price factor is also.
Interesting that you mentioned chips and you said that chips pricing will be going higher next year, which means कि हम सब को जिसको आज स्मार्टफोन खरीदना आज ही खरीद लें क्योंकि कल महंगे होने वाले हैं। सो चिप्स की कंपटीशन भी बहुत हो गया क्योंकि एआई इज आल्सो पिकिंग अप वर्ल्ड वाइड।
Yes.
सो चिप्स की डिमांड जो है वो वर्ल्ड वाइड बढ़ गई है एंड ऑब्वियसली रिस्पॉन्ड करने में लैग लगता है डिमांड।
I see.
So let's talk about your currency risk. You said that 75% SKDs आप लोग import करते हैं, and that means that the company is exposed to a huge currency risk, given कि आपकी majority cost of sales is comprised of those imported components. So, what do you guys do with this currency risk? Does the company retain it? Does the supplier Xiaomi retain it? Or is it passed on to the end consumer?
It is basically covered by the Xiaomi, the principal that has the risk. This is the risk for them. So dollar, in case of dollar, the principal hedge that with the pricing, and sometimes it is passed through to the customer, and sometimes principal will adjust as in his reserve, and it is not. We are not affected with that exchange rate fluctuation.
Well, so long as Xiaomi retains it, but when it does not, then either it will have to sit with you guys or it will need to be passed on to the consumer depending on where the strategy lies. If you want to grow
The
your
strategy
market
is that
share or
it
retain
is
it.
it is already in cushioning in the pricing. So we have
Okay.
a reserve for that, and that reserve will be utilized with that exchange rate flow. So
कितना कुछ
ultimately, you can say it is a part of the price.
बट कितनी डेप्रिसिएशन का कुछ बिल्ड किया होगा?
That is on actual basis. If it is it will if rupee is stronger, then even it will be invested in the marketing activity. So depreciation of the rupee is around the premium for that is around 5 to 6 per dollar against dollar. So you can say it hardly it is 2% or 1%.
Okay, let's talk about your balance sheet. I was looking at your numbers and I saw some unusual things there. Obviously, your leverage seemed a bit on the higher side. और उसमें इंटरेस्टिंगली जो शॉर्ट टर्म डेट है वो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ दैट लेवरेज का पार्ट है सो एनी आइडियाज वेयर यू नो सिलेक्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज जो है कौन से लेवल ऑफ लेवरेज को एक रेड जोन कंसिडर करता है और उससे बियॉन्ड नहीं जाना है कोई यू नो इज देयर सम लेवल ऑफ मॉनिटरिंग और यू नो अ रेड लाइन दैट द कंपनी इज नॉट सपोज्ड टू क्रॉस इन टर्म्स ऑफ लेवरेज रेशियो
Like in 2024 and 2025, we are working with the leverage of 60% gearing. That 60% gearing is the top line, we will never cross it. And this arrangement is agreed with the PECRA. PECRA is a Pakistan credit rating agency that has that PECRA is rating yearling since 2016, 17, 18. And
This leverage ratio will have a bearing on your credit rating, from what I
yes.
understand.
And
Okay.
now from this year, 2026, we are at a gearing level of 55%. So we have reduced a 5% gearing. So the leverage seems a bit higher is because of our investment in the stocks, in the current asset.
Let's
So
talk about that.
current,
Let's
yeah.
try and understand this bit a bit more, Nusrat. Walk us through your cash conversion cycle. Does your inventory days look like? What does your receivables and payables days? And let's see
So
where the let's understand where the problem lies in this entire cycle.
in Select, we will open the LC and we will get the stock within 15 days on an average, but it will be between 10 to 20 days. After that, it will start the custom clearing process, which is between 7 to 10 days. So you will reach up to around 15 to 7 days, in between 22 to 25 days,
Mhm.
including the Saturday and Sunday. And then there is a 7 days process for the verification of the SKU. It is fit for assembly. So every part is checked with the QC. They will verify it and place it on the designated shelf for the production. And then production process will start. Then production process after 7 days, when we induct the SKD in production, so after 7 days we will get the 1500 pieces per day. So 1500 pieces per day we will get, and a lot of 15 to 20 day, thousand pieces will be completed in 17 to 15 days. So 7 days is the cooling time, and after days and 1500 pieces per day, and 15,000 pieces we will complete in 10 days. So total 17 days. So 17 days and the 25 days previously, these all combined with the 43 days. 43 days you can include Saturday, Sunday and make it 45 to 47 days with the
Okay.
total
Okay.
completion of that product. And then
Right.
Xiaomi lifting period will start. Xiaomi will lift normally between 1 week to 3 weeks time. So maximum time for lifting is 3 weeks. So you can add 21 days for the finished goods inventory. So altogether, total number of days is around 67. With adding up the Saturdays and Sunday, not working days, you can make it 75 to 80 days is the inventory cycle for the mobile phone, and Xiaomi will pay us and then he will lift the stock. So there is zero receivable and yearling in Select Technology. So Select will sold the goods against the advance. So you have
Okay.
the funds for those 80 days. Now you have opened the LC in first month. So in
Yes.
next month, 80 days mean you have a period of 1 quarter. So in next quarter, you have again to open the LC next month. And in
Okay.
third month, you have again to open the LC and you have not get the payment of first lot. So your investment is for the complete quarter. SKD investment, then 21% duty investment, and then the investment of the monthly labor, wages, bills of electricity, and all admin selling, and that all expenses which are admin and selling, administrative expenses of the factory. So all factory expenses will be paid. So you have a budget for 3 months. And if you are going to manufacture 200,000 sets or 150,000 sets, you must have a budget for 450,000 or 600,000 sets. So
450
for
to 600 sets का budget होना चाहिए, and 3 months पे आप, so this amounts to how much in PKR in value, including आपने
it
बताया
depends
custom
upon,
duty
depends
20%.
upon, suppose if the one set price is around 35 to 40,000 rupees, you can make it 40,000 rupees. Then you have 450,000 sets. You need around 18 billion PKR for the
18
working capital.
billion. Okay, so interesting you say that, because I was looking into your IPO proceed ka usage,
You
and
see in the
almost
uh,
50% of your IPO
yes.
proceeds will go towards permanent working capital. And then I also noticed that, somewhere, the prospectus also mentioned that आप लोगों की LC जो है about 110% cash margin पे खुली. I find it a bit unusual, and help me understand कि, why is it that Select has to open cash backed LCs? What happens to the plant, building and machinery जो security में typically दी जाती है? Is that not adequate? Yeah, is not. What's the rationale behind cash margin LCs?
No, no. LC is opening with 20 to 30% margin with different banks, but it will arrive within a 15 days. Then we can go for the shipping guarantee from the bank that they will release us the documents so that we can get the shipment out. For getting those documents, we have to build a margin of
Mm-hmm.
110%, 100% for the amount, and 10% for the to cover the exchange rate fluctuation. So that 10%, when the original document come to Pakistan, so after 30 days or 35 days or 40 days from the shipment, then we negotiate the bank with the price exchange rate, and then that 10% above 10% margin will be released if the exchange rate is as in that limits at the price when LC was open. And if the exchange rate is higher, then they deduct some portion from that 10% and remit us the previous batch. So that quantum of that bucket of 10% will always with the bank. So we are in a continuous process of getting the shipments. So 10% bucket is also invested in the bank. So they hold that payment. So in that case, for covering the exchange rate,
Well, I was
get
looking
the
at your projections, Nusrat, and 2027 and 2028, interestingly, were shown as negative operating cash flow years. Any particular reason behind that?
negative cash flow is a very interesting thing. It is an
Operating cash flows.
understandable.
Negative
Yeah,
operating cash
negative
flow, for
operating.
me, it's
Yes,
more
negative
concerning
operating.
because
Yes, negative operating cash flow is a very interesting and basic factor to understand. If
okay,
the sales are increasing and company is growing, and you have a negative cash flow, then it is a good sign because you are investing in current assets and company management and company thinking that it has a good future and it will attain a growth. So because of that, they are investing in that current assets, purchasing the stock, uh, getting the sale to the market, and so it is a good sign. But if your revenue is decreasing, you are going in a downward symptom, and then your cash flow is negative, then it is not a good sign. So if you see in our case, negative cash flow reflecting the growth. So we are investing. So we are investing in current
okay.
assets. We are hopeful that in future we will get more revenue, more cash generation from our profitability, more activity, and more share of the market. So because of these thinking, we are investing in the current assets.
You think आपका permanent working capital थोड़ा ज़्यादा होना चाहिए था, तो आपका ये जो negative EBITDA है वो और आपका support हो जाता?
That is another sign because of appliances. The appliances has a more business cycle because if they are shipped through air as by sea, they are not shipped by the air. So they have a 30-day cycle, then clearing process in Karachi,
Okay.
and then transportation from Karachi to Lahore, and a 90 days market credit cycle, and 30 days assembling cycle. So altogether it is a 120 day cycle. So for that cycle, so bridging that cash flow, if we inject equity to that permanent working capital, so that will improve the even leverage and that will improve the cash flows also.
आपने Select Technologies just had its IPO and got listed, and it had an amazing response, public response. आप लोगों की ये IPO proceeds आप लोगों को I think about 7 million smartphones की capacity generate करने में help करेगी और about 300 and
360 million TV and 400,000 AC.
ACs, or remaining 50% will go towards permanent working capital. So इसकी अब बात करते हैं हम ACs market की कि what were some of the factors that made Hisense choose you guys for this partnership?
Because we have a long history of dealing with competing brands in Airlink. You see, in Airlink, we are working with Samsung, we are working with Apple. So they both are the competing brand in high ends. We are working with Samsung and Techno and Xiaomi. They are competing in mid end and low end segments. We are working with Xiaomi and with Techno and Itel. They both are competing in their low end and mid end segments. So we have a complete uh, marketing, finance, and sales team separate for each brand, segmental accounting. So every brand have its own share, and the transparency of the company, the most important. Airlink is the first mobile company which is listed in 2021. So we have done a lot of investment on our corporate structure to make company listed. And after the implementation of DIRBS, our target was to make a more transparent. The company is more transparent. Every quarter, we will upload our accounts to PSX website. Every half year we get a reviewed account from our auditor. Every year we get an audit. Every year we have our investor briefing meeting. So we are open to our investors in Airlink and same in Select. So
बट
when a
सो
foreign
यू सेइंग दैट हाइसेंस के लिए बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर था आप लोग का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क टू चूज
both
सेलेक्ट एज देयर
both
पार्टनर.
things, both things. One is the distribution network, then is the company DNA that this company will keep your secrets with you and the other secrets with them. We
Okay. So
never
also
share
a good
any.
track record of
Yes.
operating with competing brands and yet not divulging their
Yeah.
business secrets to each other. Okay,
Yes.
so those
Yes.
are some
Number
very
one.
good things because integrity matters a lot in business.
Yes. Yes.
And
And second,
that आपकी आप लोग के पास अभी एक ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है कि आप लोग competing brands को भी अपने पास रख के and then you are able to produce and distribute for competing brands. What is the vision and long-term strategy for Select? Select has Hisense now doing TVs and ACs, and Select has Xiaomi doing TVs and smartphones. Is there in the company's vision management क्या इसमें और भी manufacturers और भी brands add करेगी?
that is possible. We will trying to add more brands and even more products also, like washing machine, like air purifier, like microwave oven. We are working on that. It is inshallah in future. The Foxconn of China is same like on that pattern. That it will be the in future Foxconn of Pakistan.
Inshallah, why not? And obviously, you've also told us that consumer electronics command a better margin as well. So I
Yes.
think that definitely is a big potential upside for our investors as well. In fact, speaking of investors, what are some of the key financial metrics that the investors should be tracking to track your financial health?
In my opinion, maybe it is not appropriate, 100% appropriate, but in my opinion, the investors should see the intention of the management, that management is trying to make company more profitable, that its
Mm-hmm.
EPS is improving, its scope is improving. It is not confined to the mobile. Might be in future we are exporting washing machine to Africa. We are exporting AC and TV to the Africa. And might be if government gave us a mobile policy for the export. So export is much better for mobile also. So intention of the management. First of all, investors should see in which company is investing, track record of the investor. In Airlink, we have generated 6.4 billion from the IPO, and we have paid dividend up to 7 billion till now.
Coming back to my question, diversification is one of the things that the consumer should be, that an investor should be tracking. कि आप लोग कौन-कौन सी डाइवर्सिफिकेशन की लाइंस जो है वो ऐड कर रहे हैं और करंट डाइवर्सिफिकेशन की जो लाइंस अभी आप लोगों की आईपीओ प्रोसीड्स जो दैट यू विल कमेंस वो कितनी प्रोडक्शन लेवल्स हिट करती हैं और वो रेवेन्यू में क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन करती है? इज माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग करेक्ट? और
Yes,
आपने शुरू में बताया
agree.
था कि यू आर the management is aiming to make at least 40% of revenue contribution coming from those consumer electronic lines, which are
Yes.
higher
To make the to make
gross
the
margin.
more profitable, to improve the profitability. Yes.
Correct. So ये एक marker हो गया, which is diversification and key contribution to the revenue, which are you already told us, 60-40. Uh, any other metrics that you would want your investors to look into?
Investor has to look at the numbers that we are achieving much
Gross
better
margin?
numbers, gross margins. We are
Gross margin.
making to improve the liquidity of the company. So that's IPO will add up then the liquidity.
One indicator you gave me, which is the revenue contribution of diversified products, which is about 40% towards the end of this 5-year period that you're looking at. Second, you said margins, right? So gross margins currently are at around 8%, which already have grown from the previous years. 8% say next 5 years, where are you guys aiming to take this gross margin?
around 11 to 12%,
11 to
which we have
12%.
given in our,
Okay.
yes, which we
And the
have given in
third
our,
measure that you mentioned was liquidity. So I'm assuming that you are basically asking us to track your working capital levels or your current ratio. Which measure will be the right measure?
yes, those are the right measures.
So now I know which metrics to track for Select. जब मैं आपके शेयर को जाके इसको मॉनिटर करूँ.
Sure.
कुछ रिस्क्स की बात करते आपके you know when you look at your company, it's exposed to certain risks more than any other regular company and certain risks less. So which one, I'll kind of say out a few risks out loud and you let me know which one worries you most as the CFO. Is it weak consumer demand? Is it exchange rates? Is it government policy? Is it OEM concentration? Or is it technological disruption?
Uh, in my opinion, it is government. My
So you
opinion, but I,
mentioned the government policy risk bothers you. You mentioned that government
yes,
policy
government
risk
policy
bothers you the
risk is
most. So can you
that,
flesh it out a bit for us? Exactly what part of it
like
bothers you?
in 2023, the government has banned on import. So it will restrict it and it will block all the chain. And then State Bank has issued some quota that all these units and all that. You see, in Pakistan, it is a very good luck for our country that except Apple, top 10 brands are working here in Pakistan. So if government will make some good policies for their working here in Pakistan for their export, then it will add some better revenue. Even they all are providing employment in the country. 2,200 people are working in our factory. So you see that how much working in other factories. So a large scale of employment is here. With affiliated, you can see that in mobile business, from manufacturing till distribution and then wholesaling and retailing in a complete country. We have around 1,000 wholesaler in our panel and 5,000 retailer in our panel. So all these figures combined to make a big picture. So how many people are affiliated in the country with this business and they are
No, it has
earning their
definitely created thousands
better.
of jobs for sure, and it's a very promising industry. But it remains to be seen if it's competitive enough to export, and that case has not been made as of yet. Domestically, definitely छा गए आप लोग 30 million sets locally produce हो रहे हैं, locally खरीदे जा रहे हैं. So, this industry has really, proven itself that if government, steps up and supports local industry, the local industry booms. But local industry still also needs to, sort of prove its part कि वो actually exports के लिए competitive products produce कर सकती है. हमारे पास इंडिया और वियतनाम जैसी बड़ी अच्छी success stories भी हैं to
बिल्कुल
take
ऐसा,
example.
बिल्कुल ऐसा।
अगर हम
मोबाइल को
अगले 5
लग्जरी
साल की पिक्चर देखें, तो सिलेक्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज आप एक इन्वेस्टर को हाउ वुड यू want an investor to remember Select Technologies? Do you want the investor to think of you guys as a smartphone assembler, manufacturer, or a company that produces smartphones and consumer electronics, or a consumer electronics powerhouse of sorts? What is the vision and how would you like the investors to?
I think the people will remember Select as a manufacturing hub of consumer electronics and as well as for mobile also, for both. Because consumer electronics and mobile both have a wide spread. I was telling you the example when mobile was put in necessities and ban on LCs. So in a meeting, our group CEO, Muzaffar Al Sahab has told somebody that if you going for your office and you are hurry to forget your breakfast, so you will not turn your car back and go for the breakfast at home. You said, okay, I will take something in office. I will arrange some breakfast there. But if you forget your mobile at your house, you will definitely turn your car back and get your mobile. And an interesting event will happen in the IPO of Airlink. Some of our banker has told me that in the IPO of Lipton, they said that every Pakistani will take tea when they get up from the bed within half an hour. And my tea cup will be in the hand of every Pakistani. So I told him that we will come before half an hour, that whenever a person get up, his first hand will touch the mobile. So we will come
Awesome.
earlier than
Actually,
Lipton.
this oh, awesome, because ये तो इनकी prediction जो has come true, because that is the first thing we all actually do. And this is what all mental health experts tell us not to do. But, we all do that.
Yes.
So, no, amazing. Smartphones ka definitely future hai. Smartphone is a very integral part of everybody's lives. And we wish Select Technologies all the very best. Thank you for teaching us so many
Thank you very
interesting things about how smartphones are produced and how they work and what their economics are. Thank you for joining this conversation.
Thank you very. Thank you.